this isn't going. Hello. So I'm going to start with answering the question that Claire directed, towards anyone really, but she talked about, she asked if the ukulele would be beneficial to teach to elementary students, and her actual answer was that she didn't think so, and I also agree. I think that the ukulele, I love learning the ukulele right now. It's so fun. It makes me feel like, I'm a musical genius, but clearly not, but either way, it's very fun and very, it's something new that I've never learned before, and I love learning new things, so I think it's really cool, and also, it's appealing, I think. But to teach elementary students, I think it would be a very, very difficult task. I think it's wonderful for students to learn instruments and to learn about music, but I also think that the ukulele is not really the right instrument to teach to elementary students. I'm thinking, honestly, maybe like 4th, 5th graders, that they would be able to handle it. 5th grade is when students are allowed to enroll in orchestra, so it's kind of the same concept as like going to bigger instruments, and I think that's a good idea. But before that, like 2nd graders, I think if you tried to teach them concepts of like chords and fingering, and some of them can still barely even read, so I think that reading music or trying to remember things like that is very difficult for them. And I think it's good to challenge your students, but in primary levels like that, I think that we should start with something that's easier. If we, just looking at our class, some of us have, problems remembering the chords or strumming and stuff like that, and I'm 19 years old, which, compared to a 7-year-old, I think that would be definitely a difficult task. In Daly's video, I know she talked a lot about just like teaching music in the classroom, or even in the regular homeroom, and how music greatly enhances a student's performance. I really love how she noted on how even in her classroom that she's in right now, they're not like doing as well, and she notices that there's not a lot of music, and that could really be a huge factor in that. And I really like how she kind of pondered upon it and criticized it, because I do think that music and getting up and moving and stuff like that really gets children's brains working in more than just one way, and I think that's imperative to a child's learning, is having them think in multiple ways. And I think that music, like arts, can definitely enhance what your core learning is to begin with. So I saw a video of students learning long division, and long division is a very difficult task for students to first learn, and even mastering, it's hard for them. That's a hard concept that's new. They're just learning multiplying and dividing in general, and now you have to put all that together. And I saw a teacher in an inner city school who came up with, it was kind of like a rap, and the kids were they're like add, multiply, divide, and like keep going through the steps, and it helped them. Like the whole class was singing the song, and the student was up at the board doing a long division, and every single one of them was able to do it. And I just love how the music enhanced their knowledge and their opportunity to learn long division. And I really think that if you're not, even if you're just a homeroom teacher and you're not implementing necessarily instruments, I think that you should definitely be using music and learning songs with your students, or even, they can be regular, just like nursery rhymes or songs that have nothing to do with your core. Even, we talked about different stages of learning. It's my roommate, it's okay. But using like just music when you're doing homework, that's one great thing. And then also teaching about music later, like that's different stages, and I think it's important to integrate all those aspects in the classroom. So yeah, see you next week.